Right, boss. Welcome back.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a long summer.
Busy summer?
Yeah, very busy. Obviously, with this kind of second squad, I've had to build really in 6-7 months. So yeah, another busy 2 months, but really pleasing, really rewarding with the players that we've got as well.
Yeah, I mean, I know how much hard work's gone into it. It's been a busy summer for myself. Like, don't normally get that down here so much. It's been quite a turnover of players, but I guess you're in a position you feel you're happy in now.
Yeah, definitely. I think that last year, obviously, we had to rebuild in November, December time and take a hit for a few games to kind of get us safe and not in the relegation scrap towards the end of the season, which we did. And then obviously you speak to players at the end of the season. Some move on for whatever reason, whether they want to go to another club or whether they want to step down a league where there's too much commitment. So yeah, a few of the boys left, and we've kept a few as well, which was pleasing. Give us something to build on, and then obviously a busy 2 months to get the players in.
Yeah, I suppose you're happy to be in a position now where you've got most of your business done, and you know almost where you're at, probably 90-95% where you're at going to be for pre-season, and you can build rather than having to look at players and work out who you do and don't want.
Yeah, we've got a lot of business done in the first 3-4 weeks, so we're 95% done really, which was pleasing. We're not scratching around early July for players. We know we need one or two. We're speaking to players, but we can take our time and make sure we get the right ones in. We've got a really good core of good, solid, experienced leaders in the team, which is what we wanted. And it's like I say, it's pleasing. We don't have to go out there and go and get another 6-7 players during pre-season, and the boys can use this time to get used to each other as much as possible.
Right, speaking about the incoming, should we start with the goalkeepers? You've got Johnny Henley in from Tunbridge.
Yeah, Johnny's come in. Johnny's trained. We've had 2 training sessions now, so Johnny's come in. He's looked really good. He's got a really good voice. The saves he's making, he just brings a lot of calm and maturity to the position. So we're really pleased again.
And you got Dan around the squad as well, young Dan Kennedy.
Yeah, Dan's looked in good shape. He's got himself really fit. He's doing really well in running. So we'll see how Dan goes over pre-season, see whereabouts he's at. Young Granny's coming from the under-18s and he's training with us as well. So yeah, we've got 3 goalkeepers there that are doing well pre-season so far.
Yeah, I'm quite impressed with the young goalkeepers. I think they've both got a lot of talent and ability to step up if called upon.
Yeah, and in my opinion, they've probably got the perfect goalkeeper at this level to learn from as well, which is always important. They can watch him and see what he does, see how he trains, which will benefit him in the long run.
Right, back 4 then. You've Gavin Hoyt's a nice experienced head in from Maidstone.
Yeah, I think we're lucky to get Gav, to be honest with you. I've done my coaching badges with him a couple of years ago, just before around COVID time, and it was just one of them where we touched base earlier on in the summer. He wanted to stay full time if he could, and then we touched base again 2-3 weeks after and sold him the project, and we agreed on something, and again he's captain of a team that nearly got into the National League last year, so for us to get that, it shows the ambition of the club.
I also did all right in the FA Cup, to be fair to them.
Yeah, I think they got to, what did they get to?
5th round.
5th round, yeah. So yeah, it's good. You need that. You need them characters in your team. You can see it from the training sessions we've had. He's a winner. Every challenge matters. Every pass matters. So yeah, really pleased to get Gav.
In at centre half, Marvel Ekpateta.
Marv's coming. Marv was someone I tried to sign when I first took over, but he was at Hayes and Yedlin at the time, so he had to wait to come to the summer. And again, it was a conversation that I had with him a week after the season ended, and it was, yeah, I want to come. I can see the project that you're doing, so it wasn't a hard signing to make. Marv, he's again got great attitude. You can see him in training. He's leading every tackle and header matters to him. He's telling people where to go, where to be. So you need that with your centre halves.
And young Frankie Morgan at left back in from Sheppey.
Yeah, Frankie comes back from holiday, I think, today, so he'll be training with us tonight. I've watched him 5 or 6 times last year, and I had him training with me at Margate at the time, 2 years ago. So Frankie's got good quality on the ball. He's got really good energy. I've seen some of the runs that he's done this summer, and I think, to be fair, some of them have beaten my time. So we know he's fit. It'd be really good, really exciting to link up with Luke on the left, and Evans Kouassi on the left if he plays on the left. So he'll get that freedom to go up and down the flank and show us his quality.
Just where you're still in there, you've got Gailey obviously assessed from last season as well.
Yeah, well, again with them two, I spoke to them before the season ended, and they both wanted to stay. So both leaders, characters, they were a big part of what we did last year, in terms of the characters that they were. Gailey, I thought was outstanding the last 7-8 weeks of the season, and it's just up to us now. We've got to get him fit, and we've got to make sure we get that version of Gailey for 9 months.
Oh, your first sign of summer was one that went away for a couple of weeks. Dean Rance.
Yeah, Rancy. Yeah. To be fair, Rancy, you see in the blitz test, Rancy's come back, and I think I'm second in that. So Rancy's come back fit and strong. But I knew Rancy would. We didn't see the best version of Dean Rance last year because he hadn't played football for 6-7 months and he was getting up to speed. But he's had the summer. He's injury free. Had the summer to get himself as fit as possible. He looks a different animal at the moment. I've no doubt he'll be the best one of the best midfielders in the league. Definitely the best defensive midfielder.
In there with him, you got Sam Blackman, someone you know from Margate.
Yeah, Blackie's coming. Blackie's getting married this weekend, so he'll miss a week or so of pre-season. But Blackie's another one. He's coming for the right reasons. He wants to win things. He was captain last year. We again, it's my job to make sure I get a good fit Sam Blackman that was one of the better midfielders in the league 2 years ago. So that's my job to get him as fit as possible for the next 6-7 weeks and make sure he's ready to go.
Matt Young in there as well. He's a young lad. I know you tried to sign him last year as well.
Yeah, Young again. He offers us something different in there. He's more attacking. He'll be the one that will get goals and join in and play off the front man a little bit more. Technically a very good player. And again, I think when you look at the midfielders that he's got in there to play with, Blackie, Jebby, we haven't mentioned Jebby yet, Rancy, and he's got the boys at the back. There's a lot of experience there for him to learn on. He's not a young lad amongst young lads where he was last year. So he'll get them boys protecting him, looking after him, and I'm sure he'll benefit from that. Yeah,
move on to Jack Jebb then. He's one of the first ones you got down here this summer. He's got quite a CV.
Yeah, Jebby. I've known Jebby for a few years, 3-4 years as well. Again, he's come back pre-season. He's looking in really good shape, really fit. Quality he's got. I think the fans will really enjoy watching him. He'll dictate the tempo. He'll kind of run games a little bit, especially with him and Rancy in there and Blackie and the other ones we've mentioned. So I'm looking forward to watching Jebby play. His set pieces have been massive for us as well. So overall in midfield we've got a really good mix in there.
Yeah, I remember seeing a couple of comments from Prince's Park about if he was willing to come down to this level, they should have got him back there. He did all right in his time there, I assume, and yeah, he's a big signing.
Yeah, I think he's easily one of the best midfielders in National South. So again, for him to come down to this level to sign for us shows the ambition that we've got this year.
Right. Going forward then, Tom Derry's the one we've kept on from last year. Obviously we've got to see a lot of him for 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, I think Tom, from the conversations I had with him before the season, he always wanted to stay. He enjoyed it here. I don't think he got great service last year, but he still got, I think, 9 goals from Christmas. So he offers us a focal point up there, which I think every club needs. Every successful club at this level over the last 4 or 5 years has needed someone like Tom up there to hold the ball, win your headers. He's massive for us in both boxes. But again, he's a leader and he wanted to stay, and it wasn't too hard to persuade him to do it and sort of deal out.
Dan Smith as well, he's proven he's prolific at this level.
Yeah, Dan was, again, he was one of the top goal scorers in the league at Bognor before he went to Eastleigh. He was injured for 3-4 months at the end of last year. We've been in contact through April time, and he said he was interested to come down here. So again, that was a deal that didn't take long. We hit it off straight away, and he's come back. To be fair to him, he's injury free now. He's taken his time to get over his injury, and he's looking really sharp, really strong in training. I really like the look of him.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of injuries, Luke is the next one. He had a season out 2 years ago, but he's come in and he said that he's pain free now, and he feels like he's ready to go.
Yeah, he's just the quality, Luke. You can see in the first 2 training sessions, quality on the ball is just fantastic to see. Really, he's just doing things that players at this level won't do, you know. And again, I think last year for 3-4 months, I think he was playing through an injury. He didn't get the time to get over his injury. The last three months of the season, he said he was pain free. This summer, he's worked really hard on his fitness. And come back, and he's fit and strong, and he really wants to do well here. So I think going forward, he's going to be a really massive part for us.
Yeah, I mean, he was, for the first half of the season, he was a big part of a squad that was pushing for promotion from the National South, and then the second half of the season he played at a club that reached the playoffs at our level as well. So he feels like he's over that injury and proving that to us.
Yeah, he definitely is. The running that he's told me and sent me that he's doing over the summer, you can see he wouldn't be doing that with pain. And the quality he's looked since he's come back in the 2 sessions we've had, it's just been fantastic. So again, it's my job. We've got to make sure we look after him a little bit at certain stages, and make sure we can get the best of him over the course of a season, and get him back to where he was 2 years ago. You remember 2 years ago he was voted the best player in the National South. So if we can get him up near that standard, we've got a hell of a player. Yeah,
and finally, Evans Kouassi.
Yeah, Evans has come in, looking really sharp as well. Again, I had a bit of an injury last year. He didn't come back too soon and done it again, so he was out for a bit longer than what he wanted. But he offers us something different to Tom and Dan up there. He's raw pace and direct, and that's something we missed last year. I think we didn't have that last year to stretch the pitch and be a threat going in. Last year and 2 years ago, I think he was a big part of what can be done. I think they missed him a lot last year.
Yeah, I know. Obviously, again, another one. Well, to be fair, pretty much all of them we've seen comments from people that are saying how good players we've got.
Yeah.
I mean, he's one. I know. Spoke to someone who supports Canvey the other day, and they said, yeah, you've got a hell of a player on your hands. He scored down here a couple of years ago, and showed us what he's capable of.
Yeah, he will be a big part of what we do going forward. We've got a really good combination up there with Luke, Evans, Tom and Dan. They can all play in different positions as well. And it's my job to find a way of fitting them in a system that's going to work for us. I mean,
it's hot. So we've been through pretty much everyone. Aside from that, you've had youngsters around from the academy and from the 18s as well for pre-season.
Yeah, we've had a couple come up. We've got a couple of trialists. A couple of the youngsters have decided to go and play football at a lower level, which is fair enough. We've still got Brad with us, training with us through pre-season, and we'll see what level a couple of the young lads are at. And if they're not our level, we'll keep an eye on them in the academy, and we'll look to see if we can get them some men's football on a Saturday as well.
Yeah, it's important for them to be playing football rather than sat on a bench, I suppose, and developing themselves as players, and hopefully then be in a position where they are at our level.
Yeah, there's no point in not letting them play football because you just hold them back. So young lads these days, I think they put out to football, men's football, too late in their career. You know, nowadays you've got people being called youngsters at 24, 25. I mean, normally years ago, usually youngsters who was about 20. So I think it's really important that we can get the youngsters that are in the academy that are doing well, get them a club in the Scaffold 1, and get them progressing quickly.
Yeah. When we were talking about the players, you mentioned a couple of them and you sold them project and stuff. That's been a running theme when I spoke to them and done media bits with them and stuff. They always all seem to have spoken about talking to you, talking about you spoke to them and sold them the project down here. Can you outline that a bit for us?
Yeah, it's taken time. It's obviously Josh and Alf and I have taken over, I think last July. So last year was a bit of a transition. Really, there was a lot of work to do on and off the pitch. I mean, we didn't have things like, we didn't have anywhere to train, we didn't have training kit, we didn't have the best on how far the boys were doing. But we've got all that in now. It does take time. The bar's been done up to get some revenue in, and the pitch has had a lot of work done to it this summer, so that's looking better. The change rooms are getting work done to it as well to improve the quality and get some heating in there for the winter. So there's been a massive amount of work put into the club over the last 10-11 months since the chairman's took over, and since I've taken over, and the things that I've kind of wanted to change around. And to be fair to the chairman, he's done everything I've asked. And now it's kind of our job now as staff and players to reward that and see if we can get up and around the playoffs and see if we can get up to the next level.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like you've got a good relationship with the chairman there and those above you.
Yeah, we meet up a couple of times a week, and he's always told what's going on player-wise, how training is, and vice versa. He tells me what's going on with everything around the club. So, to be fair, he hasn't said no to anything I've asked at the moment. I couldn't wish for anything more, really. So, full credit to him, Charlie as well, working his socks off, trying to make sure everything's going on behind the scenes. So, but full credit to them guys that are doing all that and trying to turn the club around. And everything at the moment is positive, and we're all, from the staff to the players to the directors to the chairman to yourself, everyone's going in the same direction. Everyone wants success.
Yeah, if you touched the backroom staff, you made a couple of additions in there. Yeah,
we've obviously Chris has stayed. We've got Andy Moe doing the analyst stuff as well. Kev Brown's come in as a coach to help us out on the coaching side as well, because we need another body. Obviously Abby's left as well as physio. Beth's come in, which I think she'll be there every training session and every game, so that'll benefit the players. And Steve Miller's come in to help us with the recruitment side of it, so and a bit of scouting. So as a staff, we've got every kind of aspect pretty much covered. So I'm pretty pleased with that as well.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned obviously with Luke's injury and stuff, helping him through it, and that Beth's someone that he knows, and obviously Gavin knows as well from Maidstone, so she's got a lot of experience around non-league, and she went at Bromley as well.
Yeah, I think she's a good physio. She's got, like I say, she's got good relationships with them boys from Maidstone, so that'll always help. And I think she knows a few of the other boys that are here as well. So yeah, she'll be a good addition.
So you brought Kevin Brown in to do coaching as well. Can you give us a bit of insight as to his role and how what gels in with you and Andy Moe and Lynchy as well?
Yeah, we needed another coach. Kind of couldn't cover everything. Little things like half-time warm-ups and quick feet when the boys go out and little warm-ups, and it can be a bit too much really sometimes for 2 or 3 of us to do it. You do need them extra bodies. You see a lot of other clubs with a lot more staff than what we had, but it was kind of, sometimes it's difficult to get them staff when they're in clubs. People don't want to leave people, which is a good sign really, because it shows they're loyal. So yeah, he'll just help us out with the coaching when we need it. Even setting up stuff sometimes when we're at training. You know, we get the pitch for a certain amount of time, and just setting up sessions in between there will be able to help.
Yeah, I mean, more hands on deck. You say that. I mean, I know even during COVID 4 or 5 years ago, teams were turning up here with almost more coaches than we had players sometimes.
Yeah, I think you do need to get the right balance, but I think gone are the days where you have 2 or 3 members of staff now. You do need the right balance, but they also have to be the right people. And I do believe that the staff we've got in, they've got really good attitudes, really good commitment to the club as well, which is what we need, because as staff we need to set an example to the players. Every training session, every game. Now,
obviously we kick off on Saturday at Sheppey. Talks about what do you want to get out of pre-season?
Fitness. For the first 4 or 5 games, it'll be fitness minutes in the legs. There will be 1 or 2 boys that won't be available for certain games, so we've got to manage people's minutes and make sure they get up to speed.
And work at them after those 4 or 5 games. Work on what you want from them tactically and stuff going forward.
Yeah, there's a couple of formations that we've kind of built the recruitment round that we'll work on as pre-season goes on. You'll feel out what formation's working the better for us, and then as it goes, 4 games before the end, then we'll look to nail down the formation we're going to go with first game of the season and personnel.
We've got obviously 3 games at home coming up later in the month, but I think all our games are away on 3Gs and new 3Gs as well. Good quality 3Gs.
Yeah, I think it's important to get that balance. Obviously, we've got a grass pitch. A lot of teams at the moment have got the 3G Astro, so there's no getting away with that these days. You got to be able to play on both. We're obviously getting work done to our pitch, so we had to wait a little while to play in them friendlies at home. But we've got 3 good friendlies at home. We've got Deal, and then we go into Mason, the level above. We've got Margate as well. So they'll all be competitive fixtures, leading us towards the first game of the season.
Yeah, looking forward to 10th of August and getting underway.
Yeah, there's plenty of work to do before that. I'm looking forward to Saturday to seeing where the boys are at in a actual 11v11 game. You know, we're doing it in training, but against opposition, we'll see whereabouts we are a little bit more. The result isn't massively important, although it's good to get into a winning habit. But we'll make sure everyone gets the same amount of minutes, hopefully, and then kick on with that on Tuesday.
Yeah, and it feels like there's no rest now. It's Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, Tuesday, right into the season.
Yeah, pretty much. I think we've got 4 weeks of Saturday, Tuesday, and then we've got a week to prepare for the first game of the season. But like I say, these fixtures are where you get your main bulk of match fitness. So it's really important that we get enough friendlies to get enough minutes into people's legs. And obviously, if you get a few boys being away one game, they're going to need extra minutes later on in pre-season. So some will need less. So you got to get the balance right. We've got to make sure first game of the season we've got 17, 18 players available for selection.
Where are you expecting us to be come the end of this season?
Look, well, we've recruited well. In my opinion, on paper we look a really good, solid, experienced, exciting team. It's how quickly we can kind of gel. It can take time. We'll do as much as what we possibly can to make sure the boys are together, and I think that a lot of them know each other, so that's a positive thing. But when they're out on the pitch, they've got to get used to each other's games. There might be a few teams that are ahead of us, so look, it's a project. You know, we want to be up and around the playoffs if we can get up there, and then kind of build if we can the season after. But yeah, we haven't brought the players in to sit around where we was last year. It's just how quickly we can gel together.
Right. Well, looking forward to Saturday and seeing the lads out on the pitch then. Yeah,
definitely. It's like I say, training's good for a purpose, and we can work on their fitness, work on things. But when you get out there 11v11 against other teams and you put the kit on, it's a little bit more excitement for the boys.
Cheers, boss.
Cheers, mate.